Let us start periodic classification of elements. What is the necessity of classification of elements? Because there are 118 elements discovered. Studying those elements individually is difficult. So classification is required because it is an easy way to study the properties of elements. So in the beginning, the first the classification is introduced by Doberner. He studied chemical properties of the elements which were known at that time, and he grouped similar elements in a triads. Triad is nothing but three elements. Triad is nothing but three elements. The three elements are having similar properties. These three elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic mass. Now, for example, lithium atomic mass 7, sodium atomic mass 23, then potassium atomic mass 39. He took lithium, sodium, potassium as one triad. Lithium, sodium, potassium as one triad means one group. These three elements have similar properties. And for these three elements, arranged in their increasing order of atomic masses. Now, and he said another point, the first element atomic mass and the last element atomic mass average is a middle element atomic mass. Now we will see first element atomic mass plus last element atomic mass average is how much means a middle element of atomic mass. This triad is called a Doberner triad. This one. Next triad is a chlorine, bromine, iodine, like this. Next triad is a cobalt, nickel, iron, cobalt, nickel. It is one triad. So, like this, Doberner gave the elements. He classified the elements into triads like this. So, triads in the sense the group contains, the triad contains three elements. They have similar properties, and the atomic masses, they are arranged in their increasing order of atomic masses, and the average of first and last elements atomic masses is equal to middle element atomic mass. Like this is said. So next we will see. Next one is Newland's law of octaves. Newland's law of octaves. This Newlands, he introduced octaves rule. Octaves rule in the sense how in the music Sarigama Padanisa is there. Sa is there at eighth letter is C. If you see, again Sa will come. Like that, every eighth elements will have similar properties. That is his point. His point of view is every eighth elements will have similar properties. Sorry. Now, as per him, we will arrange the elements in their increasing order of atomic masses. So first we will take lithium, atomic mass 7, beryllium, atomic mass 9, boron, atomic mass, carbon, then nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Next element is what means sodium. Now, this is a first element we will take. Then it is second, it is third, it is fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, it is eighth. Eighth element will have similar properties like first element. Every eighth elements will have similar properties. So lithium is having similar property with the sodium. Then magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. Next potassium. Now this is this element we will take it as the eighth element we will take. Then it is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th element. This is what you see that it is 15th element. That means if you take this is as first element, then is it its eighth element or not? We will see. It is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. It is eighth element of this. It is eighth element of this. Therefore, these elements have similar properties. That means lithium, sodium, potassium is having similar properties. That's what said in Doberener triad also. So, potassium, calcium. Okay. Next, what element means after calcium? Scandium. After calcium, scandium. Now, as per Newland's law of octaves, we arranged the elements in their increasing order of atomic masses. Every eighth elements will have similar properties. So beryllium, magnesium, calcium is having similar properties. Boron, aluminum is having similar properties. Carbon, silicon is having similar properties. But what happens means scandium is not having similar properties like boron and aluminum. Scandium is not having similar properties like boron and aluminum. It is different. It shows different properties from boron and aluminum. Therefore, Newland's law of octaves obeyed in his law is obeyed up to calcium, not beyond calcium. Later, noble gases discovered. That noble gases, what in the sense neon atomic mass is what 20. Now, as per him, eighth element means for lithium, if you take a first element, its eighth element is neon. Lithium and neon do not have similar characters because neon is non-reactive, lithium is quite reactive. So lithium and neon, they are not having similar properties. So after the discovery of noble gases, Newland's law of octaves not accepted. It is completely violated. So next, we'll go for Lothar-Meyer. Lothar-Meyer. He studied the physical properties of the elements with their atomic masses. Physical properties with their atomic masses. Then he gave his conclusion in the form of graph. In the graph, he considered atomic volume, then atomic mass, like this he considered. He got the graph. That graph we'll see. Okay. Here in this peak of the curve, what element came means lithium. When atomic volume, atomic mass graph is drawn. Here sodium, here potassium, here rubidium. Now he said elements in the similar positions will have similar behavior. Elements in the similar positions will have similar behavior. That is his point. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium occupying peaks of the curve. Therefore, they are having similar characters. Therefore, they will be classified as one group. Okay. Next. Next one. Chlorine, bromine. Now, fluorine is in a ascending series, ascending curve. Chlorine is in ascending curve. Bromine is in ascending curve. So, fluorine, chlorine, bromine is in similar positions. Therefore, they are having similar properties. Therefore, they can be classified as one group. So, next. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium. Now, beryllium is in a descending curve. Magnesium also descending curve. Calcium, strontium. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium are occupying similar positions in the curve. Therefore, they are having similar characters, similar behavior. So, they can be classified into one group. So, What is his conclusion in the sense physical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. That is his conclusion. Periodic functions means gradual change, regular change. That means physical properties are the periodic properties. The physical properties are periodic functions of their atomic masses. That is his concept. Lothar-Meyer concept is this. Next, Mendeleev. Mendeleev's concept you will see. He said chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Whereas Lothar-Meyer said physical properties are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Then Mendeleev gave the cumulative idea, that is Lothar-Meyer concept he took, and his concept also he took, and he gave a conclusion. What in the sense physical and chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Like that he said in his law. So as per him, we will arrange the elements. That is he took lithium. He took lithium atomic mass is 7. Then beryllium atomic mass 9. Boron atomic mass 11. Then carbon atomic mass 12. Boron, carbon atomic mass 12. Then nitrogen atomic mass 14. Then oxygen atomic mass 16. Fluorine atomic mass 19. When he arranged the periodic table, at that time noble gases were not discovered. So after fluorine, sodium atomic mass 23, magnesium atomic mass 24, then aluminum atomic mass 27, silicon 28, phosphorus 31, sulfur 32, chlorine 35.5, potassium 39, calcium 40. Okay, up to that in the increasing order only arranged. Sir, next he said lithium, sodium, potassium comes under similar group, in same group, because they are having similar properties. Their valence is how much in the sense 1. Their valence is 1 in the sense when they go for chemical reaction, they will donate 1 electron per chemical reaction. 1 electron is involved in the chemical reaction by these elements. Then he said these elements have valency 2. Now magnesium, calcium, this group is having valency 2. When he arranged the periodic table, at that time beryllium valency was assigned as 3. Then this Mendeleev, what he did in the sense beryllium valency considered 3, but beryllium is not coming under beryllium chemical properties is not similar like boron, aluminum, which is having valency 3. It is having similar properties like magnesium and calcium. Then it should have valency as like magnesium and calcium, but not like aluminum. So he corrected the valency of beryllium and he said valency of beryllium is 2, and he kept beryllium in magnesium calcium family. Sir, so he corrected the valency of beryllium. Okay. Next, up to calcium is arranged. Next element is what means scandium. Scandium valence is 3. Sir, scandium valence is 3. Therefore, he placed scandium in a valency 3 group. He placed scandium in valency 3 group. Okay, scandium is placed. Now, scandium is placed in valency 3 group. That means like boron and aluminum. But the scandium properties different from boron and aluminum. Therefore, is divided this valency 3 group as 2 subgroups. They are called A group and B group. Therefore, he considered it is B group. He considered it is A group. So this valency 3 is one group. This group is further divided into 2 subgroups. One is A group, another one is B group. This boron aluminum comes under A group. This scandium comes under B group. Likewise, others also. This is also classified into two groups. One is A, another one is B. It is fourth B, it is fourth A. It is fourth A, it is fourth B. Next one is here also classified. So it is fifth B, it is fifth A. It is fifth A. Next, this is also classified. Here sixth B, here sixth A. It is sixth A. This is also classified into two subgroups. One is 7B and it is 7A. 7A. Then he said another group called eighth group. Eighth group also again. So how we place the elements we will see. Scandium, next titanium in fourth B, next vanadium, next chromium, next manganese, next iron, cobalt, nickel. Iron, cobalt, nickel. In which group means he kept these three elements in only one group, that is called eighth group. In the eighth group, he placed all these three elements, iron, cobalt, nickel, all the three elements placed in eighth group. Because in Doberan triad, we can say iron, cobalt, nickel comes as one triad. Iron, cobalt, nickel comes as one triad. In this iron, cobalt, nickel, atomic masses, if you see, their atomic masses are nearly same. Iron, cobalt, nickel are having atomic masses nearly same. Here, first element atomic mass, last element atomic mass, average if you see, you cannot get center element atomic mass for this case, for iron, cobalt, nickel. So, after that, copper and zinc. So here also classified into two subgroups. Here also two subgroups. One is this is what in the sense this is 2A, and here what means 2B. This is what means 2A. This is what means it is 1A, and another subgroup is 2A. So this is what means 1A. Next subgroup is what means 2A. Like this he classified. So he classified the groups into two subgroups. Each group is having two subgroups. One is A, another one is B, like this. That classification we'll see. Now it is valency 1, valency 1. Next valency 2, valency 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this, he classified the elements into 8 groups. 8 groups. Now we will place lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Next, sodium he placed under first group but not in eighth group, because sodium valency comes as 1. Its chemical property is similar like lithium. Therefore, he placed sodium under lithium. Next, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. Next element is potassium. The potassium is not placed in eighth group. It is placed under group 1. Why? Because its valence is 1 and its chemical property is similar like lithium and sodium. So you placed potassium under sodium. Then calcium. Okay. Next, he divided each group into two subgroups. Each group into two subgroups. Now, this is 1A, this is 1B, this is 2A, here 2B, here 2B. It is 3A, then 3B. It is coming under 4A, carbon and silicon. Here 4B. Nitrogen, phosphorus coming under 5A. It is 6A. It is 5B. 5B. Oxygen, sulfur comes under 6A, and here 6B is there. Fluorine, chlorine comes under 7A, and 7B is there. Okay. Then after calcium, scandium in 3B, titanium in 4B, vanadium in 5B, chromium in 6B, manganese in 7B, iron, cobalt, nickel in 8th group. They are having similar properties. Their atomic mass is nearly same. Iron, cobalt, nickel is one Doberzner triad. Next element is copper. Copper is placed in a first A group. First A group. Next, zinc element. Zinc element is placed in a second B group. Zinc element is placed in second B group. Okay, like this he arranged. Next, after zinc, gallium. He placed gallium in a 3A group. Gallium in third A. Germanium in third B. Arsenic in this is germanium in fourth A. Arsenic in fifth A. Selenium in sixth A. Bromine in seventh A. Bromine in seventh A. Like this he constructed, and he continued and arranging, and he continued the elements arranging like this, and he gave a periodic table. In his periodic table, how many groups are there? Means 8 groups are there. The groups are classified with respect to their valency. Then he said regarding periods, these elements are called one period. This is one period. These elements coming in one period. Next, these elements coming in another period. This is one period. Then these elements are coming in one period. Okay, like this he constructed the periodic table. Then he considered the element called hydrogen. Hydrogen valence is 1. But its behavior is some properties similar like lithium, sodium, potassium, and some properties similar like fluorine, chlorine, and bromine. Some properties varying from lithium, sodium, potassium, and some properties varying from fluorine, chlorine, bromine. Therefore, he said where to place hydrogen, in the sense hydrogen is having anomalous behavior. Therefore, let us place hydrogen in first group because its valency 1. But it is detached from, it showed some detached from lithium, sodium, and potassium. First group, but detached from lithium, sodium, potassium. Like this he placed. Therefore, this is one period. This is one period. He considered this hydrogen. This is first period. This lithium, beryllium is second period. Sodium, magnesium is third period. Potassium, this potassium, calcium, like this. This is fourth period. Then he constructed fifth period, then sixth period, and seventh period. 7 periods he constructed. So first fifth period, rubidium. Sixth period, cesium. Seventh period, that is francium. Here, in the fifth period, here, strontium. Sixth period, here, barium. Seventh period, here, radium. Like this continues. So he classified the elements into periodic table. In the periodic table, in his periodic table, how many groups are there? Means 8 groups are there. How many periods? Means 7 periods are there, and each group is further subdivided into 2 subgroups. In which group subgroups are not there? Means in 8th group there is no subgroups. So like this he constructed the periodic table. Later, after his construction, noble gases were discovered. Then he studied about noble gases. At that time, they came to know noble gases not reacting with anyone. They do not have any chemical properties. So that they do not have any chemical properties means they do not react. Therefore, he said noble gases has zero valency because they are not going for reaction. So he said valency of noble gases is 0. So he placed that 0 group either at this end, we can place that 0 group at this end, we can place, otherwise at this end we can place Z. So either you place 0 group in right extreme, otherwise you place 0 group in left extreme Z. So as per his point of view, the 0 group is placed in the right extreme, otherwise the left extreme. In any one place we can place. So helium, first period, neon, second period, argon, third period, krypton, fifth period, sorry, argon in it is first period, it is second, it is third, it is fourth, then it is fifth, then it is sixth, then it is seventh. Now we will see here a mistake is there. Here what is the mistake means after xenon then radon, like this. So like this we are placing these elements. So noble gases, first period helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, like this noble gases were placed and it is given a 0 group because valence is 0. So like this he constructed his periodic table. Then because of this some anomalous behavior arised. What is that anomalous behavior that we will see? Now sodium atomic mass 23, magnesium 24, magnesium is 24, aluminum 27, silicon 28, phosphorus 31, sulfur 32, chlorine 35.5, argon is 40, this potassium is 39. So then here we will see lithium 7, beryllium 9, boron 11, carbon 12, nitrogen 14, oxygen 16, fluorine 19, neon 20. Hydrogen is 1, helium is 4. Atomic masses you see, hydrogen 1, helium 4, then lithium 7. So increasing order of atomic masses. Fluorine 19, neon 20, sodium 23, increasing order. Like this if we go, argon and potassium you see, is it in increasing order? No. Therefore, argon potassium comes as anomalous pair of Mendeleev's periodic table. Argon potassium is having anomalous pair. Though argon is having higher atomic mass than potassium, he said argon should be placed in 0 group under neon, potassium should be placed under sodium only because he gave main importance to their chemical properties but not atomic masses. So based on chemical properties, he said potassium comes under sodium, argon comes under neon, argon should be in 0 group, potassium should be in first group. Therefore, though it shows anomalous behavior, it should be placed like this only, he said. So argon potassium anomalous behavior in this periodic table. Similarly, cobalt nickel. Cobalt nickel is another anomalous behavior, another anomalous pair in this Mendeleev's periodic table set. Mendeleev's constructed like this periodic table, and another limitation for Mendeleev's periodic table is isotopes. Isotopes, if you see, isotopes will have different atomic masses but same atomic number. How to place isotopes means what is said in the sense isotopes are having different atomic masses. Though they are having different atomic masses, they should be placed in the same place because they are having similar chemical properties. Like this is said. Suppose if you take protium, protium is 1H1, deuterium is 1H2, tritium is 1H3. These three elements should be placed only in this place because they are having similar chemical properties, though they have different atomic masses. So he mainly constructed the periodic table as per chemical properties of the elements. So anyhow, he said the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. So as per atomic mass, we arranged the elements and we got a Mendeleev periodic table, we got it. So like this, at last Mendeleev, then another scientist called what means Moseley. Next scientist is Moseley. He conducted an experiment. What is the experiment he conducted in the sense he took electron beam. He considered electron beam. he passed the electron beam through the slit. Then he took the crystal. He took the metal crystal. He bombarded the electron beam over the metal crystal. He got what in the sense when electron beam striking the crystal, some rays were found. Some rays were found. Some rays he got it. While he did the experiment, he did not know what rays these are. What rays are produced? What rays are produced here? That he did not know. So when he did not know, he said these rays were not known. So we will take this as X-rays. And he found frequency of these X-rays. He found the frequency of these X-rays. Then what he did in the sense, he replaced another crystal and he got same X-rays, he found frequency. So like this, this mostly what he did means how many metals he can took, that many metals he took here and he found a corresponding frequency of X-rays. Suppose he is placing iron metal means for that he got X-rays, that frequency got it. Manganese is placing means for that he is getting X-rays, for that frequency he found it. So what he did means he replaced here different elements, different metals. When he replaced different metals, corresponding frequency of X-rays emitted, he found it. Then he drew the graph between frequency versus atomic masses. Frequency versus atomic mass, he drew the graph. He drew the graph between frequency versus atomic mass. He did not get a straight line. He did not get straight line. But then he tried frequency of X-rays emitted here and atomic numbers of the elements taken here. Frequency of X-rays emitted here he took in the y-axis and atomic number of crystal taken here he took in the x-axis. He drew the graph, he got straight line. He got straight line. Then he concluded frequency of X-rays emitted is mostly depending on atomic number but not atomic mass. Frequency of X-rays emitted depending on atomic number but not atomic mass, he said. Then he gave explanation for this. Here, this electron beam is striking this crystal while X-rays are emitted. That means radiation is emitted, energy is emitted. When it is possible, in the crystal means it is consisting of atoms. Crystal means it is consisting of atom. In the atom, nucleus is deeply seated. Electron is being around it. When this electron beam is striking this electron, now this electron beam is having negative charge, and in the crystal atoms are there. Atom is having nucleus in the center, and outside what is there means electron cloud is there. Now when this electron beam striking this electron, what happens means repulsion takes place. Due to repulsion, energy is radiated, that is coming out as X-rays. That means electron beam is interacting with this electron cloud of atom. Electron beam is interacting with the electron cloud of atom but not with the nucleus. Similarly, chemical reaction in the sense, chemical reaction, when atom is going for chemical reaction, this electron cloud is involving in the chemical reaction but not the nucleus. Therefore, chemical properties mainly depending on this electron cloud but not nucleus. So which is saying about electron cloud, atomic number or atomic mass? Atomic number. So atomic number tells about this electron cloud. Nucleus is said by atomic mass. So chemical properties depending on electron cloud in the sense chemical properties depending on atomic number or atomic mass. And here between electron beam and this electron cloud, repulsion is taking place. Due to repulsion, rays are emitted. Those rays are called X-rays. The X-rays are having frequency. That frequency is varying from one atom to another atom. That means this electron beam striking this electron means here this electron cloud is set by atomic number but not atomic mass. Therefore, he concluded physical and chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic numbers but not atomic mass. It is called Moseley's periodic law. After he said like this, then what had happened in the sense, many scientists tried to classify the elements into periodic table with respect to atomic number but not atomic mass. Okay, so Moseley gave this law. That law is called a modern periodic law. So the modern periodic law is said as from Moseley's. Moseley gave the relation square root of frequency is equal to A into Z minus B. This relation he gave from this experiment. This nu is called frequency of X-rays emitted. A is constant, Z is atomic number, B is constant. So frequency of X-rays emitted in this experiment is directly proportional to atomic number but not atomic mass. So after this experiment, modern periodic law is introduced. The modern periodic law says that physical and chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic numbers but not atomic mass. So after modern periodic law is introduced, many scientists tried to give the periodic table. The periodic table is constructed based on atomic number and chemical properties, physical properties like this. So in that one, the accepted by IUPAC is a long form of periodic table. That's what we are following nowadays. So the long form of periodic table is arranged based on atomic number. And atomic number is the elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic number, and what is considered means chemical properties and physical properties of elements are considered. So based on atomic numbers, a long form of periodic table is arranged. Okay, that we will take. So first element is hydrogen, that atomic number is 1. Next element is what means helium, that atomic number is 2. Next element lithium, that atomic number 3. Lithium is placed under hydrogen because valence is 1. Then beryllium is placed, beryllium atomic number 4, boron 5, then carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10, sodium 11, magnesium 12, then aluminum 13, silicon 14, phosphorus 15, then sulfur 16, chlorine 17, argon 18, then potassium 19, calcium 20, next scandium. Scandium is placed in between these two. Scandium is placed like this. The scandium is valence is 3. Boron aluminum valence also 3. But chemical property of scandium is varying from boron and aluminum. Therefore, scandium, though valence is 3, as like boron and aluminum, scandium is placed in a different group because its chemical properties is not similar like boron and aluminum. So here lithium, sodium, potassium placed in same group because they are having similar properties. So how the long form of period like this long form of periodic table is constructed? In long form of periodic table, we'll take first group, then we'll take second group, then we'll take third group. So like this groups are arranged in long form of periodic table. How many groups are there in the sense 18 groups are